During the Meiji era, the daughter of a poor family was swept away to the kingdom of Kei. Her name was Suzu Ooki. Before long, she was picked up by the female Sennin Suibikun of the kingdom of Sai.
The king of Ho had a beautiful daughter named Shokei. However, King Ho and Horin were killed by rebels, and Shokei was removed from the role of Sennin.
In the kingdom of Kei was a new queen of Kei, Yoko. Yoko, Suzu, and Shokei, three girls who resembled one another in appearance, were not yet aware of one another's existence.
Did I do everything okay?
Yes.
So you really became a queen.
Hey there!
Thank you for coming such a long way.
You're looking great, and the citizens seem to be very satisfied. If the people know they've got a good-looking queen on their side, they could be quite supportive in an emergency. That hurt.
Thank you as well, Rakashun.
Don't thank me. I'm the one who should be thanking you. After all, if it weren't for you coming along...
By the way, it took quite a long time, didn't it? I mean, it's been just about 2 months since you defeated the false Queen of Kei.
It didn't happen that way because I didn't want to be a queen. I just couldn't decide on my first proclamation.
Your Majesty, the Shuko have come here to pay their respects to you.
Keiki, would you keep our guests company?
If I do not accompany you in front of the province leaders, it may give them something to be alarmed about.
If I may, I, the Minister of Law, would be honored to take care of the party of King En. Please, come this way.
I would like to congratulate you from the bottom of my heart.
Please take good care of the province of Ken from now on.
Next is Lord Gaho, representing the Wa province.
I would like to sincerely bless your Majesty on your coronation. I'm afraid it's not as much as I actually wanted to bring here with me, but please allow me to present this modest tribute to you from the Wa province.
Lord of Wa, I will be performing an offertory ceremony later. We are still in the middle of congratulating Her Majesty. And next is the Lord of Baku province.
What's the matter?
The Lord has confined himself to his castle.
Yes. He is ashamed of the fact that he had been accused of treason and hasn't set foot outside the castle since. So his provincial advisor has come in his place.
Who gave him permission to send a representative? A lord cannot rebel without the assistance of his provincial advisor.
No proof was ever found that Kokon, the Lord of Baku, had actually engaged in any conspiracy. The matter remains uncertain.
When the false Queen Joy invaded, it was you and your men who quickly surrendered Kinpa Palace to her. Was it not, Minister of the Military?
Advisor of Baku province, since you have come all this way, please pay your respects to Her Majesty.
Being the mere advisor that I am, I would like you to forgive me for bringing myself here today. My name is Saibo. I serve Kokon, the Lord of Baku, as the principal advisor of Baku province. I offer my congratulations to Your Majesty in the place of Lord Kokon.
Tell me then, these rumors I've heard about Kokon, is there any truth to them?
Absolutely not, Your Highness. My lord was suspicious of Joy's actions. He was only trying to determine if she was a false queen.
Trying to determine? That's absurd!
Kokon has always been a very cautious man. I'm certain the advisor is right.
How can you trust a man who was party to a rebellion?
Minister of Interior,
Yoko, the Queen of Kei, had yet another reason as to why she delayed her ascension of the throne. During Yoko's overthrow of the false Queen Joy, only Kokon, the Lord of Baku, held out and refused to surrender Baku province. For those who believed the possibility that Joy was the real queen, it appeared that Kokon was planning to seize the throne. There were also rumors of a great army being assembled in Baku.
KK, is there something the matter?
The royal palace is in that direction, isn't it?
That's right.
I bet that everyone is celebrating having a new ruler in the capital right now.
I wonder what kind of ruler they're going to be.
We'll find out when the ruler's first proclamation is declared.
Oh, it's you, En-ho. The first proclamation is like the first law a new ruler makes, isn't it?
That's right. You'll be able to tell what kind of ruler it is when you hear their first proclamation. Now get back to town. There are not nearly as many as there used to be, but there are still quite a few Yoma roaming around here.
Thank you.
Gyokuyo, I prefer something simple. I'm meeting with the King of En.
But don't forget he is the ruler of a very prosperous kingdom.
It's just that King En, well, he doesn't really like things when they look so frilly. He'd feel uncomfortable if I wore that.
Very well then, as you wish, Your Majesty.
Thank you so very much, Gyokuyo. I'll introduce you to Rakashun later.
Okay.
All government officials are the same. I've battled against them for over 300 years, just to let me be the way I am now.
What do you mean, battled?
You have to find aides that you're able to depend upon.
So then, in regards to the Lord of Baku province, it isn't likely that I could appoint him to the royal palace, is it? But that's not all.
Rakashun, is it me or does Yoko look a little depressed to you?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
You know how Keiki is. You know, Keiki is always way too serious, and for that matter, so is Yoko, too. Besides, Keiki has only selected one other ruler besides Yoko.
You think that might have something to do with why she looks so depressed?
Well, the first ruler a Kirin selects is always very special to them, even if he or she is imperfect in some way. You just can't help comparing them.
The officials at the palace seem to be divided into two camps regarding Kokon. And to be honest, I don't even really know what to do about it.
You must have met him at one point during the time when you and Keiki took down the false queen. What was your impression of him?
At the time I don't even remember what we talked about. Besides, everyone was kowtowing to me, and I couldn't even see their faces. I just couldn't help thinking that everyone was scowling at me while they had their heads bowed down like that. I don't know.
According to Enki, not many people prostrate themselves like that anymore in Horai.
Each time they bow down to me, I feel overwhelmed, even threatened by the expectations they might be having about me. I can't help but wonder if I'm any good at all at being a ruler.
As long as you have the throne, natural disasters won't happen.
Yes, but that's not good enough.
Yoko, listen. Governing a kingdom can be a painful task that is quite challenging.
Right.
The people are not going to believe a hesitant ruler, because no one would praise a ruler for his honesty when he reveals he's finding it difficult to govern. You must not let them see you struggle.
Really? Do you think so?
Tell the officials you'll examine the matter if you feel unsure. You don't have to rush anything. A ruler has a very long life. Take all the time you need.
Do you also worry about things?
Sure I do, all the time. As a matter of fact, if there were nothing for me to worry about, I would probably get bored. And if that were to happen, who knows, I might even get the foolish desire to ruin En. Take your time deciding the first proclamation. A ruler who makes their decisions too quickly cannot be depended upon.
I heard that the first proclamation a ruler makes should represent the kind of kingdom the ruler wants to create. The kind of kingdom that I want to create is a good and prosperous one. But I don't even know what I can do to make it good, much less how I should go about making it prosperous. I know I want no one in the kingdom to starve. You see, the place I came from was wealthy, but if you were to ask me if it was a good place, I don't know if I could say yes. Because although it was wealthy, there were many things that were also corrupt.
It's really quite simple. What kind of life do you wish to possess as a ruler? And what kind of kingdom would make you genuinely happy? Now don't rush, think about it.
One ruler didn't make the first proclamation.
That's right. There once was a bold ruler who just told the people to live healthy lives, and that was their proclamation.
Is that true? It looks like I have a few more places to visit still.
It's more than likely just Heeson, but you must admit it's nice of them to pay a visit.
I'm sorry I couldn't introduce you to Gyokuyo.
That's all right. Just take care of yourself, Yoko.
Don't worry, it'll be all right. Yoko can do it.
I think so.
Welcome home.
Anything happen while I was gone?
Nothing, ma'am.
As I thought. Honma? I saw the new ruler of K. It is a queen.
Oh, I see.
She looks like she was about your age, and she was a very attractive and dignified lady. I heard that she's also from Horai. She was born in the country of Wa, to the east of the Kyokai, just like you. And she was nice enough to tell me quite a bit about it.
Really? Like what?
Like she was also blown to this world by a shoku. She was helpless at first, but luckily for her, she found her way through it and sought the aid of King En. Of course, she is nothing like someone we know, is she? She also joined a group of traveling performers during her journey, but the gift she possessed was already apparent. She is so different from that someone who was clinging to my feet, begging to be hired as a servant. My, are you feeling sorry for the Queen of K? That sounds like an insult to me. Queen K would be offended if she heard you. I mean, someone like you taking pity on her. You'd better not ever think of doing something as pathetic as you did to the Tai Taiho. Because that would be unacceptable.
I don't know what she told you in there, but try not to let it get to you. Mistress tends to be harsh.
But she said that Queen K... Is there any way that I can go to the Kingdom of K?
Why would you be so foolish? If she ever found out that you were having those kinds of ideas, you can bet she wouldn't be as forgiving.
To this day, she still hasn't forgiven me for anything I've ever done. Even after working for her for over 100 years, she still treats me badly. Do you think any of the pain I've suffered will ever go away?
But what'll happen if you get into trouble like when you saw Taiki?
That's because he was a Kirin. But Queen K was washed to this world in the exact same way that I was. Besides, she is a ruler, so she must be compassionate. I just know that she is. And if she gets to hear about me, well then she's bound to come and try to rescue me from this place. While I was thinking about Queen K, Shokei in the Kingdom of Ho also thought about the new queen.
I have been wondering. So, you are Lady Shokei, the daughter of the king, are you not? Because when you were first put under my care, I had heard a rumor that it was a favor for the Lord of the K province. I was not sure about it, but...
No, you're mistaken.
Let's face it, you don't even know how to use a sickle. It all makes sense now. No orphan that I've ever seen has hands as beautiful as yours. I have an acquaintance who is a wealthy merchant and he lives in the capital. He pledged his devotion to the King of Ho while the king was still alive. Perhaps he could take you in.
You think that he would be willing to help me? Oh, Gobo, please, you've got to help me! That Geke killed my father and my mother, and then put me in this horrible place!
So it is true, then.
Gobo!
You are the daughter of that horrible monster. He killed his people as if they were insects. My son was a victim, and all he did was try and stop the executioners from killing a young child. But instead they killed them both side by side by order of that monster.
But that isn't what...
You might as well have killed them yourself!
But I didn't know anything about that. I had no idea what he was doing.
You had no idea? You lived in a royal palace and you were telling me you didn't know what was going on right under your nose?
I'm telling you the truth!
You've lived shamelessly and never considered where your next meal was coming from. Until now, right?
But I really had no idea what was happening!
You're going to work harder around here. Although it doesn't matter because you're still good for nothing.
But wait! I really didn't know anything! You've got to believe me! I've never been anywhere outside of the royal palace before, so there's no way I could have known what was going on! I will dress my doll in a new gown of gold, and she'll have a hairpin that sparkles, shines, and more.
The Shusei story about the Kingdom of K was quite an interesting surprise.
It sure was. I can't believe that the new Queen of K is such a young girl.
A ruler is almost as great as a god. I wonder how it feels to be one. I'll bet her dresses are made of silk.
A queen?
Shokei knew exactly how it felt to be one. The young queen would never grow older, and she would live as a young girl for the rest of her life. And Shokei would live, getting older each day like Gobo. Queen K had gotten everything that Shokei had lost.
I can't take it. 1 month after the coronation ceremony, on the day of winter solstice, the ceremony of Koshi was performed. When the ceremony to bless the heavens and wish for peace in the kingdom is over, it is believed that the Yoma leave the kingdom. Can I get through this and have a good year?
You should be fine. However, there are still many decisions regarding the affairs of the kingdom that you will need to make.
Yes, I know that.
You must resolve the matter of the Lord of Baku Province.
The Minister of Military Affairs and the Minister of Interior are suggesting that Kokon be executed.
Though it is important to listen carefully to what officials have to say, I don't agree with such a hasty decision.
I really don't know very much about this place, so I only have their suggestions to go on.
Well then, may I suggest to you that you meet with the Lord of Baku Province before you decide.
Why, I'm not good enough to make a decision? Is that what you are saying about me too now?
Your Majesty.
As I feared, we could not find anyone who could make a scabbard like the old one.
I see. Is this whole building filled with Toki weapons?
Yes. However, these have been kept in here for generations, so they are treasures more than they are weapons.
So, if these are useless, why don't we sell them off?
Pardon me?
I had made a suggestion to build a facility for the refugees from the Kingdom of Ko the other day, but it was denied due to the budget situation. Taisai.
In regards to that matter, Your Majesty, because you shared your concern with us about the refugees from Ko, the administration court is considering selling off some of the weapons.
What?
However, we shall administer this weaponry.
The administration of court will oversee all affairs in the royal palaces.
Thank you so much, Taisai. This is the first time you've listened to one of my suggestions.
By the way, what are you planning to do in regards to Kokon?
Taisai, I'm under the impression that you feel Kokon is innocent.
Yes.
Keiki is also against executing him.
Of course he is against it. The Taiho is a naturally merciful being. He would never agree to let a precious human life go to waste.
I see. Keiki is just sympathizing with Kokon because he is a Kirin.
No, wait! That is not the only reason. Your Majesty! Your Majesty!
I have taken my time to carefully consider everyone's opinions, and I have come to a conclusion that may satisfy everyone. The suspicion cast upon Kokon, the Lord of Baku, is very serious, but he should not be executed based on speculation. But at the same time, we can't trust someone with a province while he's still under suspicion of conspiracy. Therefore, he will be removed from Baku province. I now summon Kokon to Kinpa Palace, where I will hear his side of the story.
I will have him brought to the royal palace right away. You have made a wise decision.
I count on you.
She finally decided to do something on her own, or so Yoko thought at the time.
She could never understand how Shoke feels, so Shoke curses at the Queen of a Kingdom in the East. The 12 Kingdoms, Episode 25. A Great Distance in the Wind, The Sky at Dawn, Chapter 3.